What do you want to know about property ownership in Malaysia? It is categorized primarily into three main types: freehold, leasehold, and Malay reserved land. Understanding these ownership types is crucial before making any property purchase, as they can significantly impact the value, transferability, and rights associated with the property. Here's what you need to know. 1. Freehold property. Definition of freehold property is land or property that you own indefinitely. As the owner, you have full rights to the property without a time limit, and it can be passed down through generations. What are the advantages of freehold property? 1. Permanence. Ownership does not expire, so the property remains yours or your heirs forever. 2. Higher value. Freehold properties generally have higher market value and appreciate better over time due to their perpetual nature. 3. Easier to sell. Freehold properties are often more attractive to buyers, making them easier to sell compared to leasehold properties. What are the disadvantages of freehold property? 1. The cost of freehold properties are usually more expensive than leasehold properties. And secondly, land development restrictions in certain areas may have development restrictions, especially for landed freehold properties, limiting potential changes to the property. Let's move on to the next main category is leasehold property. Leasehold properties are owned for a fixed duration, typically ranging from 30 to 99 years. Once the lease expires, ownership reverts back to the state or landowner unless the lease is renewed. What are the advantages of leasehold property? 1. Lower cost. Leasehold properties are usually more affordable than freehold properties, making them more accessible, especially in prime areas. 2. Can be extended. Leasehold tenure can often be extended for an additional payment, though this process can be costly and is not guaranteed. Now let's look at the disadvantages of leasehold property. It is limited ownership period. Once the lease period expires, ownership of the property returns to the state or original owner, unless you renew the lease. Extending a lease can be expensive and time-consuming. Secondly, declining value. Over time, as the lease period shortens, the value of the property may decrease. Banks may also be reluctant to offer financing for properties with fewer than 30 years remaining on the lease. Thirdly, resale complications. It can be harder to sell a leasehold property, especially if the remaining lease period is short. Next, renewal process. To renew the lease, you must apply to the state government and typically pay a premium to extend the lease. Renewal is not always guaranteed and depends on government policies. Well, the third main category is Malay reserved land. The definition of Malay reserved land is land that can only be owned by ethnic Malays or Bumi Puteras, indigenous people of Malaysia. This type of property cannot be sold to non-Malaysians or non-Bumi Puteras. The advantages of Malay reserved land is 1. Affordability. Malay reserved land is often priced lower than other types of property, making it more affordable for Malays and Bumi Puteras. Secondly, exclusive ownership. Only eligible Malays and Bumi Puteras can own and transfer these properties, ensuring that the land stays within the community. But Malay reserved land has disadvantages in certain areas, such as the ownership restrictions. Non-Bumi Puteras and foreigners are not allowed to purchase or own Malay reserved land. And due to that, it is limited market. Since only Malays and Bumi Puteras can buy these properties, the resale market is limited, which can affect the property's marketability and value appreciation. Generally, understanding the different property ownership types in Malaysia is essential for making an informed decision. Each type has its own set of advantages and challenges, so it's important to align your property choice with your long-term goals, budget, and legal considerations. In the next video, there will be coverage on strata title, master title, and Bumi Putera lot, also known as Bumi lot. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more insights.